Target is in Aurora, Ohio. We're seeing the area which used to be Geauga, like the Amusement property. There has been some developments, and since the last time I filmed this was like the spring of 2024, similar to 2024 time, so like around like April or May of last year. We're currently on the side across from us, like I showed earlier, on the plaza where the Target is. So you see all this space over here to the right is still empty, still undeveloped. The things will start changing once you see about what's going to be down here on these different sections of the property. We're starting to see some mature trees here. Looks like some sort of like oak or pine trees based upon what they are. And they're starting to see shipping containers, and it looks like back there a tiny little forklift thing for like moving boxes. And then you have this new roadway. Now, this roadway, I believe, did not exist here when the park existed. This roadway is newer. They just built it within the last number of months. Because you're going to see on this roadway so far, there's empty space to the left. As I turn the camera back here to the right, you see empty land right until you pass these tall, mature trees. You're going to start seeing a new development. So you see over here, just construction stuff here. Construction equipment, whatever that is. But right immediately here to the left, you're going to see this. New apartment buildings. These are new construction apartment buildings, I guess, for people to live in. I'll classify them as apartments because to me it looks like an apartment complex. So this is a new apartment complex. I believe this is being built on this site where I think the parking lot was. I know. You see that sign? This is Big Dipper Boulevard. I think actually they're building this where the old rides used to be. So they're paying tribute to the classic rides that used to exist in Geauga Lake by naming this apartment complex, like the different streets of the apartment complex after the rides. So far that is one of the developments that they have developed on the park's property, which I think is certainly much better than they were originally supposed to develop. What was it, like houses or something? And that was supposed to take up the whole entire park's land, which I guess they had to cancel that. So instead they permitted whoever the builder is of those apartments you just saw to build that on, which I believe is the old ride area of the park where the old rides used to be. So that's one development we've seen so far since the last update, those new apartment complexes. Now we're going to see if there is any other development as we drive around the whole property of Geauga. Still see much of the original perimeter fence they put up when the park closed is still here. So they only took down a section of it back there where we just saw the apartments are. So that was only just a section they took out. I believe it was the area where just the amusement rides were. I believe now we're on the side that still has the perimeter fence, or I believe I think this is where the Wild Kingdom Water Park section was. See a mound of dirt over there. I believe that is the old, yep, that is the old, I believe, yeah, Wild Kingdom. This is the old parking lot of Wild Kingdom, Geauga Lake's old water park. And you can see right there, they left through the trees, you can see it. Yep, right there, through the trees. The gate, main gate, and then the front entrance of the water park are through the trees, that yellow, bluish colored building. So this area, this is going to be kept, which I believe refurbished as it is, because according to the city of Aurora, they are going to turn the old water park space, reuse it, and turn it into a community park. So that's going to be redeveloped and repurposed. And as I mentioned in my previous videos of the Geauga Lake property, that was originally the SeaWorld Ohio of one of the two parks used to exist. So that is what's happening to the old property back there. And then this land here is for sale, but this is part of the property. So this has not been developed yet, this corner lot right here. So currently, again, the only development so far that I've seen currently going on the property is the addition of the new apartment complex that has not been developed since the last update. So that is the only new update at this time. Currently, and nothing else has either been yet planned or built for the rest of the property. We'll see about the main section as we're heading back up to where the Target is here in Aurora. See if I can see anything else that is before that apartment complex where I started living. So far, I don't see anything except for living grown trees. People's houses, the main street. Like what they're doing is, because they built those apartments like in the area where the rides used to be in Geauga Lake, they are naming each of the streets of where the apartments are located. There's the dance hall. Still, and there's the apartments. So looks like they only built the apartments on the space that's next to the dance hall. And the dance hall building is still there, so that's good. But yeah, but I just say about the apartments specifically. So it's just down a perimeter fence. They have apartments here. And then I was back saying about naming the streets of where each of the areas the apartments are after a former attraction used to operate on Music Park's property. You can see this area here is all empty, so this hasn't been touched yet. So it's only that small area back there where it's all the apartments. They've actually built something on. Let's see. That's how back there, that area. But there might be a SeaWorld Ohio sign that's still left back there. I'm not sure about that. But that is still, unused, undeveloped park property that is still yet to be determined of what they'll do with it. But the only development so far at this time is, again, the apartments you just saw is the only thing that's firmly built. And nothing else. You can see our plow land here on the corner for sale. Nothing else has yet been posted about what is going to be developed next after these apartments. thank goodness the state approved the apartments being developed where the land of the ride used to be, and not it was supposed to be, I think, multifamily houses, which are just completely taken over the whole land of the amusement park. So I only took out maybe just a section of the park so far, so that's a good thing. That being said, that is my Geauga Lake update for this being toward the end of May 2025. This is May 24th. And you can see right from Target, right across the street, that is Geauga Lake. So I'll probably do an update within a number of months, some point when there is another development. With that being said, that is the end of my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Got a little bit of detail what has been developed so far on the park's property as we're passing by the Aurora Target. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel and leave any thoughts down below what you think about what they may be developing next for the amusement park site.